There I am. Hey guys, this is Andy over at today's CBD and Wellness Show. So happy to be here with you on this, what is today? Wednesday. Oh shoot, today is early day to pick up the kids. I'm glad that I looked because sometimes I forget. And then they call me and say, Dad, where are you? Now, they should walk home, right? But, I love that time sitting with them in the car. Sometimes we go get ice cream. Sometimes we, we'll go to 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee or something like that. So I still pick them up as much as I tell them all the time that you need to walk home. But that's not, they get off early today. Today is every Wednesday they get off early. I wish I had that when I was a kid. All right. So what I want to do is talking about the results that I've had with Vasayo since I started a year ago. It was my year anniversary just a few days ago. I forget exactly when, but those memories pop up, and that's what reminded me that it's only been a year. I think I've been telling people I've been with Vasayo for a couple of years, and I'm not sure if it's because of all the fun that I've been having and all the things I've gone to, 2 Overcome Nation events. I believe that maybe more than that. I spoke at 2 of the Overcome Nation events, the local ones. And then we have the national ones. And I believe I've been to 2. I've been to the International Convention and the North American Convention for Vasayo. And I've been on other people's shows, maybe about 50, 60 other live broadcasts. So a lot has happened in this year. And to me, really, it seems like I've been here for a year. So that makes the results that I've had from Vasayo even that much more amazing, I think. And so I just wanted to kind of give you an update. It's been a while since I've done an individual interview or an interview with other individuals other than them coming on my show. And their shows is where I get asked all the questions about, how did you start using CBD? How did you find Vasayo? What are the results you're getting? That kind of stuff. So it's been a while. So I thought, just in case, because I've have a lot more new friends. I'm in a few thousand friends on Facebook, and then also we broadcast on YouTube and Twitter and Twitch right now. Pretty soon we'll be on LinkedIn too, once they approve me. I can't believe I'm still not approved on LinkedIn. But anyway, and so I'm going to go through a few things. I'm going to go through a few things here. The one thing I want to do first is I want to play a disclaimer, because I'm going to be talking so much about the coincidences of my overall wellness and health since I began using Vasayo. I want to make sure and do this disclaimer here, and make sure this is posted on there. Essentially, what it says: these statements that I'm about to tell you about have not been evaluated by the FDA. So it is not intended to be taken as medical advice. No therapeutic or medical claims are either implied or made. Do not alter any medical treatment or use of medication without the permission of your medical care provider. FDA regulations prohibit the use of therapeutic or medical claims in conjunction with the sale of any product not approved by the FDA. Income disclaimer, just to make sure, because I may talk about that, this is also a business opportunity. Income level achievements are dependent upon the individual, brand partners, business skills, personal ambition, time, commitment, activity, demographic factors. Vasayo makes no income claims. All right. So I just want to make sure and read that before I get into some of the things that, which I believe have come about at the same time that I began using Vasayo. How did you become so good looking? Beleza. Of course. Thank you, Nabi, for asking. And I really appreciate it. Yeah, and that's in a manly way that you're asking me that, I'm sure. And so let's go through it, just a little bit of the story. And as you may or may not know, I was a police officer for 21 years. Before that, I was fairly athletic. I in high school, all the way back into elementary school, I played football Of course, as everybody in that area did, Pop Warner football was very popular. As I came about, I had cousins who played on the San Diego Chargers, San Diego State University. And then my brother played football. And of course, if I didn't play football, I'd get my ass kicked. So I had to play football. I wasn't that big and I didn't play very often. However, those were already events that I remember where I'm pretty sure I got a pretty severe concussion and they just did nothing about it. They said, get up, you big baby. They didn't use the word baby back then. Things are so different back then. The coach used to call us all kinds of names, and I was in second grade. You would not believe. I mean, those of you that are a little white, milk toasty and snowflakey, it's too bad you didn't grow up in the 70s and 80s like many of us did. Much different way of living. And so the names and things. So anyway, those are injuries too, apparently. So played football. And then in high school, I continued to play football. I also was in track. I became a pole vaulter. During my high school years, I became number 2 in the state, ranked number 2 in the state in pole vaulting. Of course, poles break. You miss the padding on occasion. You go up and quite don't go as far as you're supposed to, and then you come back down the other direction. At the place where I was holding the pole at the time was somewhere in the neighborhood of about 12 to 14 feet, depending on what height I was trying to go over and what stage, or whether I was in freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior. Of course, the poles got longer, the height got higher, and the falls got harder. And so there's all that. Before I became a cop, I drove ski tour buses to river rafting locations and ski tours. And that was like for 3 or 4 years. Skied almost every weekend during the winter, river rafted during the summer, and partied in Las Vegas almost every weekend. That was my life for 4 or 5 years. And then I eventually started playing hockey. About the same time I was playing hockey, I was playing street hockey, in tennis shoes, and then roller hockey on rollerblades, and then eventually ice hockey. And then I became a cop and began to play ice hockey on the police team, and competed in the police and fire Olympics. Traveled all over the world playing hockey in Austria, in Whistler, Canada, San Diego, Las Vegas, all over the place. And in Europe, when we were playing, it was checking and dislocated shoulders, broken bones, broken other stuff, the routine when you play hockey. Never lost any teeth, thank God. So I'm so happy I didn't lose any teeth. But a lot of injuries, concussions, that kind of stuff. Became a cop for 21 years, trained police dogs. The police dogs bite usually the left arm because when you're a cop, you don't want to hurt your right hand because that's the one that carries the gun and writes all the reports. So a lot of injuries, a lot of sustained injuries to my left arm. Was bit through the equipment. Again, dislocated shoulders from the dogs running at about 15 miles an hour. They weighed about 100 pounds to 125 pounds, would hit you with full force. One day I was in the back of a pickup truck. A dog hit me so hard coming into the pickup truck. He knocked me out of the pickup truck. The two of us fell out of the pickup truck. I landed on my head with the dog on top of me. That's just one example of some of the falls and injuries that I took. And then, of course, in police work, you're getting in fights, a couple car crashes, SWAT training, defensive training, injuries galore, and that kind of stuff. So, I did some stunt work too. I was trained to be a stuntman in Hollywood before becoming a police officer. And then I had kids, right? Okay, so I'm giving you all that information because I want you to know that by the time I got into my late 40s and 50s, I was pretty sore and my body had gone through a lot. And it was about 3 or 4 years ago that I was not able to even lift my children who are small. I have a 6-year-old now, 9, 12, 13. And then of course I have a 25-year-old that I could not even pick the youngest one up, who of course you always put on top of the two bunk beds. And I could not even pick him up to put him into bed. I couldn't pick him up. And even with his help to get him up there, my shoulders were in such pain. It was like having a pencil stuck into your, this pencil like stuck into your shoulder and then moved around. Every time I tried to lift something up, if I tried to pick up this water bottle, it would hurt. Sometimes my arm was too heavy. So I'd have my thumb hooked onto my belt loop as I walked around, and I never really wanted anybody to see that I was in pain. So I really tried not to show pain. I'd have my hand in my pocket so that the weight of my arm alone would not cause me excruciating pain. It was a very difficult time. This is only a couple years ago. And so I had that going on. I had anxiety, PTSD, depression. I drove myself to the emergency room a couple times because I thought I was dying. And I was not convinced when I got there, when they told me, Andy, you're not dying. And I said, no, I am dying. I can tell. And they said, no, you're having an anxiety attack. A very painful incident. If you've never had an anxiety attack, especially as a man, it's excruciating. It's debilitating in so many ways. It's debilitating in the sense that you literally think you're going to die, number one, and you're crying, and you're a person that doesn't normally cry because you think you're going to die, but it's embarrassing. You don't want to tell anybody about it. Nobody knew. Even my wife, when I was still married, didn't know that at the time I had taken myself. I would not tell anybody. I would tell my secretary, I'll be back, and then I'd hop in the car and go in the emergency room. A very devastating thing. That brain injuries from concussions can cause probably caused most of that. But also there's a few incidents that I had in the street with babies that were in cars that were on fire and I couldn't get them out, and shootings I was involved in, and stabbings where a baby was on top of their mother trying to get the mother to not die, and the baby was only about 2 years old, a year and a half to 2 years old, pulling on the mom's shirt trying to get her up, and both are covered in blood. So those incidents, when they occur over a period of time, and some of those were like back to back, like I go to that call, I go to another call where a guy was shot and he's dying, and I'm trying to get him to talk, and he won't talk, and the blood's coming out of his mouth as I'm trying to talk to him, and then he dies while I'm talking to him. And then go to another call and the domestic violence where the husband beat up the wife. And so you can see, as a police officer, there are just some days that are just one incident after another, and all these things begin to occur. So why do I share all those with you? 3 years ago, I thought the pain I was in, the discomfort I'm in, is just where I am at in life. The PTSD is just going to be something I'm going to have to deal with. The sometimes almost migraine style headaches that I was getting were just something that were going to come about and I would have to deal with. And even the medication, the high blood pressure medication that I was on, all the other medications, I was on 5 or 6 different medications at the time, that I thought that's just how I'm going to have to live for the rest of my life. And that was it. And I was sad in thinking, shoot, by the time my daughter, who at the time, she's 13 now, or no, I'm sorry, she's 12 now. She was 9 when most of this was going on, maybe 8. I was thinking, wow, I'm going to have to go down the aisle in a walker, or someone's got to push me in a wheelchair as I'm walking beside her to hand her off to her soon-to-be husband. And thought that is really not fun. And I was really not happy in thinking about that. But I had given up. I thought that was it. I was also going through a divorce. It was nasty. It's still nasty. and that was it. I'm just gonna, this is how the rest of my life is going to be. And then I get diagnosed with cancer. All right. So I got this cancer thing, and I'm thinking, shoot, I'm falling apart. I'm having anxiety attacks and things are just horribly bad. But the one thing I don't want is cancer. So none of those other things motivated me to look into wellness. No, they didn't motivate me to try anything else other than what I could do, and that was try to eat good. I was doing pretty good in the area of eating. On occasion, I'd have something that I shouldn't have, pizza or, fast food and that kind of stuff. But for the most part, I have a history of eating fairly well, even though you'll see my post and you'll see some stuff. Once, I cheat every so often. Once every couple of weeks, I'll cheat with something very bad. And I think that's okay. Yeah, that's what I do. But for the most part, for, all the other meals, the opportunities for meals and snacks, I eat pretty good. So the cancer thing, though, was it. And I thought, yeah, I got to find something. I got to find something that may help get rid of this very low grade cancer that I was diagnosed with, and see if I can get it to go away. They caught it early enough, and let's just see if we can get something to happen here. Prostate cancer, by the way. And so I began reading books for several years now. I've helped people become #1 best-selling authors. I have cake is good for you too, and now he's always got the best comments. If you're watching this, I can see that people are popping on and popping off. I'm not sure if they just don't like my story and they're popping off. But as you join, whether you like my story or not, just let me know that you're watching. Nobby's been commenting, but anybody else who's watching, please let me know that you're watching, where you're watching from. So I got to figure out what. So back to my thing. So I've helped now up to 800 people become #1 best-selling authors as part of a group called Publish and Profit in San Diego, and a number of people are in the wellness space. A lot of doctors, a lot of people, a lot of kooks, a lot of people that know what they're doing, and some people that they may know what they're doing, but their concepts are kind of odd, and like cake. Like having cake as a solution for wellness. Sorry, Nabi. And so I began to reach out to some of the people I felt comfortable with, and they said, "Have you tried CBD?" And I go, "No, I don't want to get high. It's illegal, and I've arrested hundreds of people for possession. They're doing time now. Breaking rocks and Sing Sing. And so why would I try something that's illegal?" And they're going, "Well, it's not illegal, but you should try it. You need to look into it more." And then people were pretty persistent, especially by a gentleman by the name of Matthew Adams, who was very persistent and said, "Look at this video. Look at what we got going here. And it's not what you think it is. And it's from the hemp plant." "Oh, yeah, it's another name for marijuana." And so all the things that now people tell me and suggest to me, although people are getting much smarter over the last couple of years since CBD has become more popular. But at the time, I was not going to try it. So needless to say, I tried CBD. And for me, and again, I have to say something like the coincidence was I changed nothing else in my life, my exercise, my diet, I didn't take any other supplements or do anything else. The only thing I did was add CBD. Suddenly, the side effects of the CBD, not necessarily in response to whether it helped me with my cancer or not, but everything else began. This journey I've been on is because of the side effects. And the first thing is, at the time, I was a person that could only sleep 1 or 2 hours a night, very broken sleep. And if I woke up because I had to go pee or something, I wasn't able to go back to sleep. I'd end up coming in the living room and watching television. But the first thing that began to happen, I began to notice that I'm sleeping much better. I'm going, wow, this is amazing. I went from sleeping 1 to 2 and maybe 3 on a really good day to sleeping 6 hours. And that was the first thing. And I got a hold of Matthew. I go, "Am I supposed to be sleeping better?" because I am, and it's pretty amazing. And things are just crazy good with the sleep area. I can't believe I'm sleeping this good. I'm going through this nasty divorce. I got 5 kids and I'm sleeping. That is so crazy. That's the first thing. The other thing that you need to know is that I had really bad high blood pressure since the early age. Since I was in my teens and early 20s. The reason I know is because I barely got hired by any police department because they said my blood pressure was really high. And every test I took, a medical test I took for a police department, they had to stop the test and tell me to go lay down in a dark room and rest. And they would come and take my blood pressure while I was resting. And that's the only way I was able to pass any of those medical tests. There was no time I ever passed the medical test on my blood pressure on the first reading of my blood pressure. I failed every first reading. They had to take separate readings or have me come back on a separate day and have me come in and just rest, and then they would take the blood pressure. But the first thing I got is a note from my medical care provider, and this is the letter that I got at the time that I began taking CBD. Again, I can't make any claims. I can't say that it's because of the CBD, although it's the only thing I changed in my life. My target at the time was 139/89. And the only time I had gone under was after I started taking CBD, and it was 134/86. And I got this letter from the doctor saying, "Congratulations, you have met your blood pressure goal. Try to maintain this," and blah, blah, blah. And my doctor even called me and says, "Did you see your results?" And I'm telling you, it was way bad, but it was like 175 over, like, I don't know. It was something really astronomical that you would not even believe that I'm alive today based on what my blood pressure used to be. But this is what has happened since I began this adventure with wellness, CBD, and now Vasayo. The first thing was sleep, then my blood pressure, and my mood. All of a sudden, my kids started saying, "Dad, are you okay?" "Yeah." "You seem to be in a really good mood lately. You just seem to be different." Especially my oldest daughter would say, "Wow, every time I come over lately, you just seem to be a different person. You're You just are. Like, it's like such a pleasure to be with you. She always preface, or then would say, not that it wasn't okay to be with you before. It's just you seem different. You were funny before, but you're even more funny now. We can have discussions now where you don't lose your temper and say whatever, and but now we have more of a discussion as opposed to telling me what I'm doing wrong, and you're more patient. And I go, really? And then I began to hear it with the other kids, and then other people say, hey, we've noticed a difference in what is going on. That I don't have a piece of paper that can really show you the results of that. I can just tell you. And if you scroll down long enough, like a year ago, you'll see a video where my daughter came on and talked about that very thing, that she had noticed a huge difference in me because of CBD being added to my life. Now, again, that was her words. I can't tell you that that's all it was. I can tell you that it's just coincidental that at the same time I took CBD, my blood pressure dropped. I began to sleep fantastically, and my mood began to change. And since I started CBD, I have not had an anxiety attack or any bouts with depression of any sort. And so it's been much better. I can see people are joining. Again, as you're joining and watching, don't hide in the darkness. Just let me know that you're watching. Tell me what you're watching from, and give me a comment here or there based on what I'm talking about, or ask me any questions you might want to ask. But again, the blood pressure, as you can see there, my goal at the time, because it was so high, was just to get it to 139/89. And coincidentally, after I began taking CBD, it went to 134/86. Again, that was it had never been that low ever that I can remember from the time I've been taking it. It was not that low when I was in 19 or 20, 21 years old, when I was trying to get on the police department. And it has not been that low up prior to me taking CBD. Coincidence? I don't know. Perhaps. Let's see some of these comments. Hey, Loretta, nice to see you. Awesome. Sass, nice to see you. Oh, wow. That's awesome too. Awesome. So I'm not the only one. Very, very cool. Yeah, me either. That is the best, because anxiety attacks suck. They just suck. It is the most horrible thing. I've had not one. There have maybe been a couple of days where I thought, you know what? I'm feeling like I probably should take another half dropper or full dropper of CBD. I do that. And then that moment of possibly having an anxiety attack or some anxiousness all goes away. And it's not a drug. It's not like you're getting high. There's no THC, no tetrahydrocannabinol. There's nothing like that. And so it's just coincidentally, I think, the power of the CBD. All right. So I showed you the blood pressure. The other thing, prior to taking CBD, I was pre-diabetic. I had received a diagnosis about a year prior that I was pre-diabetic. And every time I went, they go, you're still pre-diabetic. You got to, watch this and that. And here's your diet and blah, blah, blah. Kept giving me the stuff. And I've even had some medication from time to time. And it was constant. And then suddenly I'm taking CBD. My blood pressure drops. I go, and now I have a blood test of some sort. I can't remember the reason why, but they run a test, and it comes, and I get this letter in the mail. Your test for diabetes mellitus is now in the normal range. Great job. So that's from my doctor, Dr. Noda, and sent me that note that I was no longer pre-diabetic. That was all gone. What? What the hell? Okay, my blood pressure's dropped. I'm no longer pre-diabetic. I'm not having any anxiety attacks. I'm sleeping like fantastic. I'm in a great mood. My kids notice it. Everybody comments, "Hey, Dad, you're fantastic. You're a good dude. You're no longer like have this shortness of your patience." That's happening. And Dad, you're getting high. That was always the thing. Like, oh, Dad's on, doing this marijuana thing. No, it's not marijuana. It's hemp. It's called CBD. And it's called CBD1 and Vasayo. Oh my gosh, the lighting does this every time. I was going to try to be great. There it is. CBD1. Here, let's take them all up. CBD1 is all. It's just coincidentally. Gosh, you can't even see the label on this either. CBD1 and CBD just began to change my life. So I thought, wow, if I can feel this great. If I can feel this great, just in the sense that I'm taking this new supplement, and it's possible that related to that supplement that all of these things begin to happen, how much healthier can I get? Suddenly, one of my kids come running to me, and they ask me to play hockey or do something. And usually at that point, because I was in so much pain, I would say, oh no, because if I do, then it's just going to flare up, and I'm going to be in such pain. The inflammation will be overwhelming, and for 2 weeks I'll be out, and I won't be able to lift this water bottle again, right? And again, I told you my arm was too heavy. My arm would cause me pain if I didn't have it in my pocket or on my lap or in my belt loop as I walked around. It was so painful that I couldn't even do that, right? And now suddenly I'm realizing, wait a minute, I have not thought about my shoulder or my neck or my upper back in months. What the hell's going on? And I began to move it around, and I began to do stuff that I wasn't able to do. I lifted up my son. I put him into his bed, which I've not been able to put him into his bed and that upper bunk for a long time. Now he was heavier, right? It was, a year and maybe a year and a half ago, right? And then it was like 6 months after that. Here I am after taking the CBD. That I'm now able to kind of lift him up with my hand on the back of his neck and my hand just around below his buttocks, underneath his legs. And I'm able to lift him up and put him onto his bed. And I'm going, and I was waiting. I was waiting for this, the feeling of this pen being stuck in my, oh, you can't even see it now. There's my illustration, being stuck in my shoulder and twisted, right? Waiting for that to happen. Didn't happen. And so it was pretty awesome. So I become a part of Vasayo brand partner. I started with another CBD company. Now I start with Vasayo. They have other products. And now I dive deep into this wellness world. Began using Renew. Renew Core Complete, which I don't have with me. I just took it over to the other room over there. Core Complete, the V Slim and the V3, began taking those. The CBD one. I was taking Nero. Remember, I had a couple of head injuries from the crashes I was in, a couple of fights that I was in, one hockey fight, fireman. So anyway, fireman, because I checked him in the corner one day, and then a couple games later, I'm skating around and he punched me in the back of the head and caught me off guard, and I hit my forehead. The scar that's on my face right here is from my face hitting the ice and knocked me out on the ice. So those hit and blood everywhere. It was awesome. And I got them later. Don't worry about it. So all that stuff, right, caused concussions, caused me to lose my memory, caused me to forget how to get a certain location based, of course, on losing my memory, but places I'd been to before hundreds of times over my life, I couldn't remember how to get there. I'd have to go on my app and figure it out, or even go to a Thomas Guide back. No, I didn't have to go to Thomas Guide, but go on my phone and try to find certain things, right? So I started taking Nero, which I don't have here either. I don't have the box or anything like that. So I take everything. I just ordered the 1,500 Founders pack of everything and began to take everything, and just my life completely begins to change. I feel better now. Coincidentally, as I began to take all these fantastic products with Vasayo than I've ever felt before. Remember what I told you? I couldn't lift up a water bottle. I'm just going to give you a demonstration. And if anybody newbie at the time, I wish I could bring them on when they would see me, do something, and you'd see me go like wince for a second. They go, "What's going on?" I go, "Nothing." Or my ex-wife, if we were still talking, she would tell you that there was so many times where I would have my arm pressed up against my body and would just not be able to do anything. So I got some weights down here. The heaviest I have here are 35-pound weights. And now this is not to impress anybody. Not in the sense with me. Impress you with the fact that I can do this now, when just a year and a few months ago, I could not lift a water bottle, all right? Or even hold my arm up without pain. So I got these 35-pound dumbbells. As you can see, they say 35? Yep. And now I can lift them up over my head. And I do these today. I've already been to the gym today. And now I think the heaviest I do now is 50 pounds. So 50 pounds in each hand, and able to lift these up over my shoulder. Now, I'm going to tell you that I can feel that there's something in there, but the excruciating pain is not there, right? 35 pounds in each hand, or 70 pounds in total, lifting up over my head, where I couldn't even lift my, whatever it was, 15-pound to 25-pound son up into the bed, just over this like this, right? The bed's just right here as I'm standing up. To not be able to do that just a year and a half ago, and to be able to do that now several times over. So I do 5 sets, starting with 30 pounds, 35 pound, 40, 45 pounds, and then 50 pounds and in repetition, right? And it's, I forget what the count is. When I'm doing it, I know exactly what it is. It's something like 12, 12, and then 10, 8, 6. So 6 of those with the heavier weights, and then I go back again, and then to the lighter weight until I can't do anymore, until I wear out that part of my body. And to be able to do that, I'm out of breath now. To be able to do that, only a year and a half without surgery, right? So without surgery, with no therapy, only changing the fact that I sleep. Now, I think sleep has a lot to do with repairing my body that has been injured over the years. I think the sleep has a huge part in it. The more that I've learned about sleep, the more that it's a time that it repairs our body and including our brain, where every waking moment is causing brain damage. Every waking moment that we're awake causes brain damage to everybody, not just me, Nabi. It causes brain damage to everybody. And then the sleep is how it repairs that brain damage. And without that sleep, you're not going to repair your brain. You're not going to repair your body. And the supplements and the good food you eat will just probably do you very little good, because your body's not able to rest and utilize those nutrients and repair those things that have been damaged throughout each day that you are alive. So the sleep has been a huge part. The Renew with inflammation alongside the CBD, working hand in hand, right? All these dietary supplements work hand in hand. Vasayo has made sure that is one of the things that they want to make sure they all work together. CBD seems to be the power booster of Renew, the power booster of V3, the power booster of Nero, the power booster of, I forgot about Eternal. I got Eternal here. So power booster for Eternal. You take these, you add CBD, and now it just is a cascade of homeostasis throughout your body, which is what your body needs to have. Your body needs to have homeostasis for it to be at its most optimum level. If you don't have homeostasis, then you have high blood pressure, or you have anxiety, or you have inflammation that is so painful that you can't move. All of these things begin to take a toll. And as you begin to take these supplements, you begin to reduce the inflammation, reduce the anxiety, reduce the depression, reduce the your inability to sleep. I guess that makes sense, right? Is that a double negative, or is that it doesn't matter. I began to sleep better. And now we begin to see that we have a skincare product. All right. So I hope this has led you on a little bit of my journey and kind of brought you to a place where you can see why I am so excited about Vasayo, and why no matter what happens on the financial aspect. Now, we have people, brand partners that have been in for less than a year, and they've already paid off their house, right? So you have people that are having some great success, and like I said in the disclaimer, everybody's different. Some people have different things that motivate them. Some people have different demographics that they're involved in. Women seem to do really well in Vasayo. So if you're a woman watching this and looking for a way to create income and to create wealth, this may be something you may want to look into. But in spite of the people that I see that are getting brand new Mercedes-Benz and suitcases of money, which I've already seen happen, people that have become millionaires during the short time I've been with Vasayo. Vasayo's only been around for a little over 2 and something years, maybe 3 years. And I've been around for a year of it and have seen people go from nothing to just a high level of income. And so I'm telling you that too, because that is not the most important thing for me. I know it should be. I know that I should be wanting to create more wealth, but the thing that motivates me are the people that are in Vasayo, the people that are in Overcome Nation, which is the team that I'm on, and then the products are fantastic. So I think for me, Overcome Nation is really high up there, which is the team, the free business school that I'm involved in. But the products are amazing. The products have changed my life. They have made me a different person than I was just a year or so ago, a year and a month or two ago. And it is just an amazing thing. And then the addition of the skincare. Now I can show you a little bit of that too. So if I were to show you some of the results, and they're hard to see on here, I didn't have time to put it in the format like I did the other ones, but you can see down here on the lower end. Now, some of those wrinkles that people say, oh, well, are you smiling there? Or I'm not really smiling. I'm just, it's a weird kind of look on my face. But either way, it's still, in the top photo there, the wrinkles, the crow's feet are just hardly even present, even if I were to smile in that other picture. And I'm not even I just think I have a weird look on my face. The one thing for sure are the bags. Now, when you smile or not smile, the bags are the same. And so the bags are in darkness has completely been reduced. If I go to the next picture here, on the other side of my face, you can see even more dramatic on the bags under my eyes have greatly reduced, and the wrinkle there on the side of my face in the crow's feet, in that sense, have become greatly reduced. All right, so that So I've talked about the internal parts of my body, and including the joints, the muscles, the inflammation, the anxiety in the brain, the depression that I was going through at the time, the sadness of just not being healthy. The cancer thing, I can't quite tell you, because I thought I was all excited once because one of the biopsies says I had no cancer. And then I came back with another PSA that was high, even though the biopsy said I had no cancer. And so now there's some confusion whether I have cancer or not. I took another biopsy and they said, well, we found a little bit of cancer, but it's so minute. We would not even consider doing anything because it's so little. And we took so many samples, it doesn't make sense to go in and do anything. So it's a weirdness that I'm going through with Kaiser. I did a whole show on it not too long ago, but that's the only thing that I can tell you, that the original reason I began to take CBD, I'm not sure how it's affecting that or not. I can't give you any results as far as that's concerned in relationship to that issue. However, the side effects, unlike the side effects that you see when you're watching the Super Bowl or anything else, when a medication comes on and you got about 4 seconds of the benefits of that particular pharmaceutical, and then the rest of the 30-second commercial is on how it's going to kill you, right? So the side effects of pharmaceutical are all negative, right? You might have a heart attack if you have diarrhea and you can't stop. Then go see your doctor. If you go blind, that could be a side effect, right? All this stuff. You're going to go blind, you're going to die, and you're going to have diarrhea, right? By taking this. But other than that, it fixes that other thing, whatever that is, the fungus in your fingernail. The fungus in your fingernail is gone, but you're dead and still have diarrhea, and you're blind. Right? However, the side effects on CBD, for me, not making any claims, not saying it's cured anything, appear to have been at such a level that it just has changed my life. Right. Then you add the other Vasayo products, the Eternal, the Renew, we have a sleep product that I've also used from time to time. You got the Beleza, which is for the skin, of course. You got the CBD1, the V3, the V Slim, and all of that. And it just begins to change your life. So one more time, I'm going to give a little demo what I do, because I just want to have one more of these. As I take my which one's this one? V Slim, before I go have lunch. I haven't had lunch yet. I haven't had anything to eat. I do intermittent fasting. I don't eat breakfast any longer. Most of my meals are around 7:30 in the evening. And then I don't eat again until afternoon, like 1 o'clock the following day. So intermittent fasting. And then before I go and eat, I usually take a V Slim and a V3. I mix them together in the same water. That's what I do. I don't know if, again, I always mean to ask Tracy if it's okay if I mix the two things together. I think other people will do that too. Makes a good flavor. I forget which flavors I have here. Pomegranate and strawberry. Wait. Oh, blueberry, pomegranate, and strawberry. The V3 is strawberry, and the V Slim is pomegranate and whichever. So those of you that do you guys take it at the same time too? I don't know. All right. So if you die, I don't think diarrhea is going to be a problem. No, but I was being funny. If you die, I don't think. Oh, okay, you must hit the return by accident. All right. You do that too. Oh, okay. You mix the two. Okay. I was going to say something else. We get some side benefits. Nice. I should use that. And it's probably been used before, but I'm not sure. Yeah. So all the side benefits are fantastic. The side effects are side benefits. I'm going to change my wording on that. Thank you, Loretta. You're so full of good ideas. CBD magnifies whatever you take it with. Awesome. Yes, absolutely. Shame it's not legal in OZ. I know. What's going on? Well, I think it is, right? But you have to jump through some hoops in order to begin to take it. But someday we'll be there. Dallin Larson and Daniel Piku often will say, when are we going to be in Australia? And they go, never. I guess, it's just so difficult dealing with the importation of such things into other countries that it's nearly impossible to do some of these things. Thank you for that. All right. Ouch. Yeah. That was when I hit my face on the ice. Yeah. There are other things that hurt a lot worse, like getting hit with a slap shot in the groin. That really hurt too. Or on the thigh, or the, what else did I have? What's that called? I tore my hamstring. I thought the goalie had hit me with a two-hander across the back of the legs, and I'm that effing goaltender, and I had goaltender. I didn't do anything. You just went down. It's because I went to push off and I tore my my hamstring. That was really painful. And then I kept playing like an idiot. A1C, I think it's called, normalized. We're twinning right now. Oh my gosh, what was that in relation to? See, I don't know. I'm not a very medical person. So A1C, is that the pain in my neck and shoulder area? Is that what you're talking about? Sass, if you're still watching, maybe you can tell me a little bit more, because I do like to know. That way, sometimes I can sound smart. I feel amazing since I've been using the Core and Vtox. Yes. Oh my gosh, the Core and I forgot about the Vtox. I go through that Vtox every so often. Every what's it been now? I think it's like every 3 to 6 months I'll go through a Vtox, and just seems to, it just seems to clean you out, and it just feels good. All right, so that's my story. That's my journey of Vasayo. I hope you have gotten something out of it. If you have any questions, if you're someone who's not already in Vasayo and you want to know more, just reach out to me and let me know. If somebody has shared this with you, say Sass or Loretta has decided that they want to do a watch party or share this with their audience, and you know them and you know it came from them, then contact them. Don't contact me, and ask how you can get involved in Vasayo and join this great company. It's a international distribution company. The only thing that really doesn't get can be sold in the other areas is the CBD, but all the other fantastic products. They come in sometimes different forms, but the other products are all. Beleza sold out in a day in China or in Asia, somewhere in Asia. I think it was China, but it's sold out in a day. And you should see the picture of the group of people that bought Beleza and sold it out. That was before it even came to us in Orlando just a month or so ago. But it's sold out. The V3 people love, the Eternal, the Renew are very, very popular in Australia, New Zealand areas. I believe because one of our biggest brand partners, the wealthiest brand partner we have, she's in Australia. And I'm not quite sure of all the details of how she was able to do that, but she is what is called a Royal Diamond, I believe. That is the highest level. And I think they had to create another level so that she could actually have another level to go to. But she's in Australia. And so she is killing it, which means she's making, and this is not exact, I'm just telling you, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of a few $100,000 a week is what she's making in Vasayo. It is a lot. And so there's no excuses of where you at, no matter where you live, no matter where you are at, you can be a part of Vasayo. Because if you say that you live in a country where you cannot have any of the products, whatever that is, I don't know where that would be. It's somewhere, I'm sure. Maybe say it's Australia. You can sell to people in the United States. You can sell to people in Europe that can, have it shipped there. You can sell to people that are in Taiwan or Asia or Malaysia. Those are all places where we have offices, right? And so you can share to people that are in those locations also. So in the time being, like people in Canada, we have a whole bunch of people in Canada, but they don't get, they do not have the ability to receive CBD, but they do get some of the other products. But they have been selling CBD to customers in the United States and been doing very, very well. So you don't have to necessarily live in a country where all these products are available, but you can live in a country and sell these products to people that live in the countries where it is available. So don't forget about that. I'm telling you, at some point, I cannot see why all of the products will not be global in every country over once people, just get over it. From cop to cosmetics. Thank you, Robin. I love how you asked my advice on a camera and a mic and you took none of my advice. I think that was you, because I get asked a lot, but I think that was you. Now I'm going to use something else. That happens a lot. Hey, Andy, what do you use for a mic? I use a Rode mic and I use a Logitech. I forget what this one's called. It's not the 920. It's called something else because it's 4K or 5K, whatever it is. Okay, well, good. Oh, I'm not going to use those. I've decided I'm going to use these other kinds. Okay. That's my favorite. All right, Loretta, you are welcome, and I hope it helped. Help you. And again, you can use my story if you're a part of Vasayo and you don't have a testimonial of your own. Use mine. Interview me, and I'll be more than happy to go on your show and talk about the benefits that I have found. Brio, thank you. Yes, the Brio. Nabi, you are so good. You are so connected. And so if you don't have a story, you don't have somebody in your life who's had had a change or some type of testimonial based on the products they're taking. I have a bunch. I have military people who no longer have anxiety and depression, right? They've been in Afghanistan and Iraq and had it bad, had bag loads of pharmaceuticals they were taking, and now they're off nearly all the pharmaceuticals, if not all the pharmaceuticals. I have people that have the same results with the Beleza. We are seeing tons of results and testimonials from people using the Beleza. We got people that are, in their 60s, they now look like they're 50. They have people in their 50s that look like they're in their 30s, right? It is amazing what is happening with this Beleza. Who knew that I would be a former cop into skincare? Who knew? But it's scientifically proven. I can tell you that for sure. Even with the disclaimer, I can tell you that Beleza is scientifically proven to reduce aging and turn back the hands of time, right? To really, literally turning back the hands of time. The scientifically proven effect is that it reverses the aging process. And so there you go. All right, that is it. I'm going to end this now. I can't believe I went on 45 minutes. I promised, I wanted to go 30 minutes, but it's people like Robin and Nabi who just have great comments. A1C is sugar level. Thank you. I don't know this stuff. I just play a doctor on TV. I am not really a doctor, but I just play one. A1C is sugar levels. Robin, how come you didn't know that? How come you didn't tell me? Or Nabi, right? The women are so much smarter. That's why the women do strawberry kiwi. Yes, it's strawberry kiwi. It is so good. When you mix it with a blueberry pomegranate, it is fantastic. The women are so good. Julie and Loretta, they're all brand partners with Vasayo. Who else is on here that I saw? I saw some other women on here. Who is it? Julie Boyce, I said. There's another name. Sass. Of course, Sass. How could I forget? Sass is amazing. Sass is one of my favorite people on the planet. Shannon. Also, yes. So all these women that are on Vasayo, and Nabi, who's not a woman, but he plays one on TV. The women do great in Vasayo. They're when we have the events, right? When we have the Vasayo conventions, and they're saying, this person's now a diamond. This person's now a what are the other gems? Ruby, whatever they are, gold and silver, and all these people, right? All these different levels. It's always women. And there is so often a man will walk up there and go, "Hi, I'm here too. I can do this too." But it's like woman after woman after woman just having great success with this company. So I need a couple good women's. I need some more Darrow. Where's my V3? I need some more women on my team that are going to go out there and kill it, because you guys can kill it. You just got to do it. I have some women on there now, and they start off really fast and they get excited, and then life happens. And so I need women that maybe just are interested in going all the way, right? Going all Nabi. Don't you dare. Going all the way in the business to becoming wealthy and to becoming financially independent, have time freedom, and hey, Loretta got it. All right. So that's it. I'm going to sign off now. I appreciate you guys. It's time for me to eat lunch. It's almost 1:00, and I'm going to go out. My kids will be off soon. 1:15 is when the two middle ones get off. So I'm going to go pick them up. We'll go to lunch together. We'll have a good time. And I'm going to enjoy my time with them. Why? Because of Vasayo. Really, literally, I enjoy my life. I enjoy my time with my kids. I enjoy my time at the gym and playing hockey. And I'm playing basketball with my son. My oldest son is suddenly into basketball. And so I've been able to do that now because of Vasayo. And so it now makes me want to get a little teary-eyed and sobby, because these things have been so fantastic, and they've literally have changed my life. And I appreciate it very much. And I'm going to sign off now that I ruined it. I was doing so good without getting all teary-eyed. So that is it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.